And so if you take a step back and you are empathetic about it and say, well, what if I was in this position? Like, let's just call him Jim. If I was in Jim's position, and I don't know who here has ever bought a house, or, if you guys, before your NMLS, if you even knew the process of buying a house, but imagine what it was like to be in Jim's shoes. So Jim doesn't know what questions to ask. Jim could be the defensive type where he wants to, play the role where he doesn't seem stupid or he doesn't want to ask the ignorant questions. And so we want to be able to consult him and say, hey, Jim, you know what? Before I begin, let me go ahead and just ask a few basic questions first so we can find out how much you can truly qualify for. What we do here at New American Funding is we actually issue pre-approved loans, which are a little bit different than pre-qualifications because it's much safer and it lets you know that whatever houses you are looking at with your realtor are actually worth your time. This is something that you can actually make a move on should you feel an emotional investment and this is a house that you'd like to pursue. Does that make sense? So you're not necessarily pitching it. And I think that's something that you really need to take away is that when you're dealing with people in that, I want to say milestone because it really is a phase, right? So when they get connected to you, they're not necessarily at a pre-approved yet. They're not even pre-qualified yet. They're actually just starting. Regardless if they started elsewhere, to you, they're just starting the process. I guess where you want to kind of track them is saying, okay, in order to get to the next step, which is to have a pre-approval or pre-qualification letter, I need to make sure you can even move that far. And if you can adopt that kind of philosophy with your conversation, you're going to make them comply naturally because that's kind of like how we are wired. Instinctively, we know that we have to do A, B, and C just to get to D, E, F. We're naturally wired this way. And so if we can map it out for them, they'll actually comply and not even really know it. But they'll do what you need to do because they understand that in order to get to D, E, F, they need to be done with C. And then C is going to be to get your whole STIP list and stuff like that. Where I see a lot of agents failing or having trouble is because they'll take the very first call and they'll treat it like a sale. They're asking questions like, how much do you want to get pre-approved for? This is something that we need to inform them. Like they have a choice. They don't have a choice. But yet sometimes we'll ask them, well, how much do you want to get pre-approved for? Why? Why are we asking them that? What if it's $9 million? And I'm like, all right, well, does that make sense? It's almost in the refinance side of it, it's almost like saying, hey, what can I do for you today? Well, what do you think? Right? I want some value. I want you to help me out.